Hey everybody. Okay, we're moving on to lesson 2. Let me move it over so that you're looking at it with me. So this one, again, I'm starting on page 2 here, and we are going to be, the focus is graphing data using ordered pairs. Again, that's your vocabulary for this unit. You're going to really need to be comfortable with that. You can always go back to the top of the intro pages here. But we're going to go ahead and do an example. It has a few different ordered pairs for us to graph. It says use coordinate grids to help you solve this so you can make your own. Or if you click this sheet, it actually opens up one that you can print out, which is kind of nice. Again, most of what you're going to do is going to be online, so you're really not going to have to print it out. But if you want practice, you can use this. Of course, you also have the practice problems in your book. So I have gone ahead and printed it out. Let me adjust my camera. I'm just zooming in on one of them so that we can look at that together. And we are going to look at the numbers that are here on the screen and plot them. We know from our first lesson that X number is always going to be the first one, Y will always be the second, and we should always go across. I added a little anchor chart to your intro page today. I liked it, and it kind of gave a new way of looking at it. I hadn't thought about it before. It said, remember, always crawl before you climb. So crawl across the X before you go up. That's just a helpful kind of mechanism to help you get that. Okay, so we're looking here. I have my graph paper. This one goes all the way to 14 and all the way up to 14 on the Y. So the first set of points, if we're looking at our screen here, says 1, 2. So that's the first one we need to look at. So I know I'm going to go over first. I go over 1, and then I'm going to go up 2. 1, 2. And I'm going to plot that one. So I'll draw a little dot right here. It didn't give me a name. A lot of times it'll give you a name. I'm just going to make it say A so I don't get them mixed up. The next one says 5, 2. So I'm going to do the same type of thing where I'm going to go over 5. X is always first. Remember that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up 2. 1, 2. See, I'm counting the lines. I'm not counting anything in between the lines. I'm looking at the actual lines. I'll label this one B since it's second. The next one, the example says 1, 6. That's our coordinate pair. So I will go over 1. And this time I'm going to go up 6. So I can just go straight to the 6, or I can count them individually, whichever one you like. I'm over 1, I go up 6, so this is going to be my next plot. And I'll label this one C. I have one more, 5, 6. So I'm going to go over to the 5, X always comes first, remember that. And then up 6, so I can put that there. I'll label it D. And then if we read that little thing, I guess I should have read that first. It says, Jesse is setting up an obstacle course for us to play on. He's planning the course on a coordinate grid. The obstacles are located at the points. These are the points we just labeled. Plot the points to determine the shape of his obstacle. So now I have these plotted. I can see if I connect them, there's a shape, right? It made a nice, perfect square. If it asked me a question, what was the shape, I would choose square. So it just depends on what the question asks you. But by plotting that, we could see that it was a square. So this one, again, is all about actually putting it onto paper or looking at it and solving. So this is on page 2. If you move to page 3, let's go to that essential question. How do you graph a point? Well, based on what we did in lesson 1 and here, we know that we use our ordered pair, whatever it might be, and we always do X first and then Y, and we put a little dot on the coordinate grid or plane. You'll hear it called both things. So there's some videos if you would like to watch them. Otherwise, we're going to scroll right on to the next checkpoint on page 5. So let's read it. We have another example here. We're going to have to, this one looks like one we're going to look to solve. It says, study the following example before completing the checkpoint. Rayvon is graphing ordered pairs. He graphed point K on the graph below. The ordered pair for point K is 3, 8. Did Ray Vaughn graph the point correctly? How do you know? If he did not, show where he should have. So 3, 8. So let's go and look at this. Well, right away, I'm seeing something wrong, right? We know X should always come first, then Y. And X is across the bottom. You can see right here. Here's an example. Y is at the top. So if it was 3, 8, it should go 1, 2, 3, and then up 8. All the way to the 8, and the dot should be right about here. I would be putting that down. But if you look at it, we can kind of see what he did wrong. It looks like he went over 8 and then up 3. So he put them on the wrong spot because he did Y first instead of X first. So did he do it correctly? No. How do you know? Because I'm looking and he did not, the dot isn't in the right spot, right? I know because it's not where it belongs. What did he do wrong? He did Y before X. You always have to remember X before Y, just like as in the alphabet. Okay, you're going to have a separate video with the guided practice where we'll go through some of those. So open that up to do some with me and then some on your own. And then let's do a quick look at this checkpoint. Or quick check, I should say. Give it a second. You know how it likes to load. Okay, so there's 2 questions in this one again. Which of the following grids correctly graphs the points? A is 3, 1, B is 0, 3, and C is 1, 3. So you're going to have to look through these choices and make sure all 3 of these are in the right spot. So for example, A I know is over 3, up 1, over 3, up 1. So far A works. That's in the correct spot. Let me check B, and then let me check C, and so on all the way through. Make sure you look through all of them to make sure you're choosing the best one. Okay, drag the ordered pairs to match the points shown on the coordinate grid. So this is a drag and drop. You're going to have to, let's see. Oh, okay, there they are. I was like, where are they? So you're going to have to say A, what's the correct one for A? You have to find it and see what goes with it. If I look, I can see A is over 3, up 6. So I would look for 3, 6, and I would drag that one into this little box and then do the rest as well. All right, if you have any questions, reach out.